Hello friends, I'm Lokesh, your mentor at mentorbuddy.com. We have a question based on time and work. It says, Deep and John can do a piece of work in 12 days, while John and T2 can do the same work in 16 days. Deep starts the work for 5 days. He is then replaced by John, who works for 7 days. T2 is finishing the remaining work in 13 days. If at the end of the work they get rupees 9,600, John's share in it is. So now let us understand how can we solve this question. We have certain values which are given to us. Before that, we will be approaching this question using the total work concept because this is going to be the easier approach. So what is given is John and Deep can do the work in 12 days. So let me just use these values. Similarly, John and T2 can do the work in 16 days. John and T2 can do it in 16 days. That means if I assume the total work as the LCM of these two values, that is 48 units. Now if I say Deep and John can do it in 12 days, so can I calculate their 1 day work? That is Deep and John can do 48 by 12, that is 4 units of work in a day working together. Similarly, John and T2's 1 day work can be 48 by 16, which is going to give us 3 units per day. Now apart from this, in the question it is given that Deep starts the work for 5 days, is then replaced by John who works for 7 days, and then T2 finishes the remaining work in 13 days. So what is happening? Deep is working for 5 days, then John is working for 7 days, and then T2 is working for 13 days to finish the work. And how much the work was? 48 units. Let me quickly rearrange these values. If I take 5 common out of Deep and John, I'll be left with 2 times of John plus T2 and plus it will be 11 times of T2 will be equal to 48. What I've done is I have just took 5 common out of 5D and 7J, so which gives me 5 outside and D plus J inside, plus the remaining 2J, out of which I take 2 common, and I'll be left with J plus T, and the remaining 11T is as it is. So what I've done is, because I know the value of D plus J is 4 units and similarly J plus T is 3 units, I can quickly put the values here, which gives me 5 multiplied by 4 plus 2 multiplied by 3 plus 11T is equal to 48. This gives me 20 plus 6 plus 11T is equal to 48, and I can get T is equal to, this is 26, 48 minus 26 is nothing but 22 divided by 11, and I'll be getting 2. That means T can finish 2 unit of work in a day. But as we know that J plus T was 3 units, so from here I can get J is equal to 3 minus 2, which is equal to 1 unit. And if I put the value of J in the first equation, that is D plus J is equal to 4, I can get D is equal to 4 minus 1, which is equal to 3. That means now if they work for 5 days, if Deep works for 5 days, the amount of work done is nothing but 5 multiplied by 3. plus if John works for 7 days, his amount of work is 7 multiplied by 1. And similarly, if T2 works for 13 days, it is 13 multiplied by 2. So I can put the values as 13 multiplied by 2. I'm just going to put the values separately: 15, 7 and 26. And this is giving me the ratio in which they have done the work. And this is the ratio in which they should be paid. So now when we have to calculate what is John's share out of 96,000, John's share, John has completed 7 units of work out of 48. So I can directly write as John's share becomes 7 divided by 48 multiplied by 9600. And when I do the cancellation, I get 200. 200 multiplied by 7 gives me 1400 rupees. That is John's share for the work that he has done. And therefore, the answer to this question becomes option number 3. So this is how we can solve the problem. I hope you will go through it once again. The process should be clear to everyone. It is not the answer, but the process, the method that we have adopted is very important. Thank you.